Hello ladies, gentlemen, and not so gentlemen. As you saw in the title, we're going to talk about all the things wrong with Ben 10, Omniverse. But first, a few things. This is not a hate video. In fact, Omniverse is my favorite series in the entire Ben 10 franchise. But these are the things that felt off, the things that, while watching, made me go, wait, something's not right here. Look, Omniverse was massive. It was bigger than Classic, Alien Force, and Ultimate Alien combined. While the other shows mostly focused on Earth, Omniverse showed us a way wider perspective. We got multiple planets. We saw alien cultures. We visited the Annar system, Tetramand homeworld, even Galvan Prime, stuff fans dreamed about for years. It introduced amazing villains, and dropped a ton of new aliens for Ben to use. So in many ways, it had the most content, the boldest scope, and craziest ideas. So how did it end up disappointing a big part of the fanbase? Let's talk about it. First thing is the art style. A significant portion of the Ben 10 fanbase did not vibe with the art style of Omniverse. Now, personally, I actually liked it. Omniverse has one of my favorite art styles in the entire franchise. But hey, this video isn't just about my taste. Compared to the previous shows, Omniverse leaned hard into a more cartoonish look, and that rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way. Gwen and Kevin especially, their designs felt off. They didn't look like the same characters we grew up with in Alien Force or Ultimate Alien. Most of the alien designs were fine, though Four Arms definitely took a hit. That face design still feels cursed. Second thing, the Omnitrix. Let's be honest. After Ultimate Alien, going back to a standard Omnitrix felt like a downgrade. Yes, the Omniverse Omnitrix was more secure and reliable, sure. But let's not pretend it didn't feel like we lost something. The Ultimatrix let us see evolved, upgraded versions of our favorite aliens. Ultimate Echo, Ultimate Humongosaur, Ultimate Cannonbolt, those were epic. In Omniverse, we just went back to regular aliens. No upgrades, no evolution. Even if they had better control or new tricks, it didn't feel as impactful. It's not a huge flaw, but emotionally? Yeah, it felt like we went from a next-gen console back to something with a wired controller. That's just how I see it. But what do you think? Was the art style and Omnitrix downgrade a real problem, or not that deep? Let me know in the comments. Next, the story didn't always feel like it was about Ben himself. We need to remember something important here. Ben is still a 16-year-old kid. A teenager. And not just any teenager, a galaxy-famous hero with pressure no normal kid could handle. But Omniverse rarely showed that internal struggle. Ben was always hiding behind that chill, cocky personality. Sure, it was fun, but where was the depth? We did get moments of maturity, like when he was getting hypnotized by Hypnotic and still said, "Being a hero isn't about fame." And Dream Ben lecturing his fanbase? That was great, but we needed more of that. More glimpses into Ben's heart, his insecurities, his trauma, his identity. Let me give you a different angle, relationships. Specifically, Ben and Julie. That relationship had something special. Julie accepted Ben for who he really was, before the fame, before the galaxy knew his name. Their first date? She found out Ben could turn into an alien, and she didn't freak out. She didn't run. She accepted him. That kind of love is rare, especially for someone Ben's age. So when they broke up in Omniverse, the show just kind of moved on, like it was no big deal. Ben shrugs it off and suddenly he's with another girl, Esther. No grief, no pain, no moment of reflection, nothing. That's not just bad writing, that's a wasted emotional opportunity. Ben should have processed that loss. He should have been confused, hurt, maybe even doubted himself. Because that's what real teenagers go through. Instead, we get more emotional weight from Ben losing a smoothie than from losing the girl who truly accepted him. And if you're 18 plus watching this, you know that kind of heartbreak? It sticks. And the show should have leaned into it. Do you think Julie deserved better? Or should Ben have taken more time to heal before jumping to someone else? Now don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on Ben's cocky personality. Not at all. Ben being chill, cracking jokes, always smiling, that's actually impressive. We're talking about a 16-year-old who is galaxy famous. He's the Earth's last line of defense against cosmic-level threats. Literally gods, monsters, warlords, and he's still in high school. So if a kid like that manages to stay cool, smile through it, and not break down, that's not immaturity, that's insane emotional control. And that's what makes it even more disappointing that Omniverse never showed us how he handled that pressure behind the scenes. We should have seen the cracks. Not a meltdown, but moments. Quiet ones. Private ones. Even a second of him alone, breathing hard, staring at the Omnitrix, asking himself, can I really keep doing this? Because we know it's heavy. Remember Ultimate Alien, Season 2, Episode 6, The Forge of Creation? When Ben meets his younger self and literally says,
when it's hero time, if I mess up, somebody could die. From what you told me, if we mess up this time, everybody could die. Maybe that's too much to have in your head when you have to win. Maybe if I pretend everything's a big joke, when the time comes, I'll be able to do what I have to do.
That one line hits hard. It shows us that even he knows how heavy this burden is. He doesn't show it to others, but it's there, boiling underneath. So in Omniverse, we should have gotten at least some of that. Not just the galaxy-saving action, but the emotional cost of being the Omnitrix wielder. Because if Ben is the main character, we as the audience deserve to see his struggle. Not just his strength, but what it takes to hold it all together. Even secretly. Even in the dark. Even when no one's looking. So what do you think? Should we have seen more of Ben's inner world? Or was it enough to just watch him smile through it all? Drop your thoughts. Another big issue. Too many aliens. Omniverse had over 70 aliens, which sounds cool at first. But the downside, that meant each one got very limited screen time. Sure, aliens like Feedback got decent focus, and that was great. But the rest. Some showed up once or twice, and that's it. We didn't get to see their powers used creatively, or in situations that made them memorable. The result? You don't build a connection. You don't go, oh yeah, I remember that one epic moment with Ball Weevil. Because there wasn't one. Quantity over quality. And for a series that had the most alien variety, it's wild how few of them actually left a mark. Now let's talk about something that was just missing. Legacy. Ben is the most famous hero in the galaxy. His secret identity went public a year before Omniverse. But let's be real, Ben was already famous when he was 10. Imagine a headline. Giant flaming alien stops a robbery in Bellwood. That kind of story would go viral galaxy-wide. And yet, in Omniverse, we never see a hero inspired by Ben. That's a huge missed opportunity. A moment where someone looks Ben in the eyes and says, "You saved my planet. You changed my life." We needed that. Because a hero's impact isn't just about how many bad guys he beats, it's about how many people he inspires. Speaking of bad guys, let's talk about Vilgax. In Classic, AF, and Ultimate Alien, Vilgax was terrifying. Ben barely survived their encounters. He was a top-tier, god-level villain. But in Omniverse, he turned into a punching bag. Seriously, most of his appearances feel like filler fights. The only time he felt truly threatening again was when he fused with malware. That version, that was fire. But outside of that, he was just another obstacle. And what about Albedo? They made him look like Kid Ben again, which in my opinion was a step backward. Albedo as an evil twin version of Teen Ben? That was sick. It made the rivalry personal. It was like fighting your dark reflection. Turning him into young Ben again? It made him feel more like a parody than a real threat. That evil intensity. That, this could have been Ben if things went wrong vibe? Totally lost. So yeah, more aliens doesn't mean more impact. Legacy wasn't explored. And villains that used to be nightmares became comedy. What do you think? Did the extra aliens help or hurt the show? And should Vilgax have stayed the big boss he once was? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you agree, disagree, or just want to debate in the comments, go ahead. I love hearing different perspectives. Stay safe. And if you're into game development, check out my devlog channel, Wiki Universe Game Studio. I'm building some crazy stuff over there. Peace out, heroes.